Hey, I'm Robert Pearson, and this is Follow the Leader. We're going to sit down on my lunch break, and we go over some Bible stuffs. We are in, there we go, 1 Peter, chapter 3, verses 8 through 13. Now, 3 of these verses are quoted from a psalm that I read recently. Let me find it real quick, make sure it's the right one I was thinking of. Psalm 34. Yeah, Psalm 34, 12, 13, and 14. Sort of. Oh, yeah, 12. Yeah, 12, 13. 13, 14, and 15. Yeah, okay, the first part is 16. So yeah, he takes a decent sized chunk out of it. But it's only 3 verses over here in Peter. So, anyway, just giving that for context. So we're giving the apostles sort of application of that psalm. All right, here we go. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 to 13. To sum up, all of you be harmonious, sympathetic, brotherly, kindhearted, and humble in spirit, not returning evil for evil, or insult for insult, but giving a blessing instead, for you were called for this very purpose, that you might inherit a blessing. For the one who desires life, to love and see good days, must keep his tongue from evil, and his lips from speaking deceit. He must turn away from evil and do good. He must seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and his ears attend to their prayer, but the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. Who is there to harm you, if you prove zealous for what is good? So, there we go. Let's see here. So, what is your least favorite part of this? It's always, what's your favorite part? What's the least favorite part? What's the part you didn't like to hear? For me, it's must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. That's the hardest one. Is watching your tongue whenever you wind up hitting your hand with a hammer, or stabbing your hand with a screwdriver, as electricians are known to do. It happens a lot. And controlling what it is that you say in those moments, even then. It's difficult. It'd be a lot easier if that line weren't in there. I think it's James who says, whoever controls his tongue is perfect in everything. That's the hardest part, right? Is watching what you say. That's the trickiest bit of this. So, what is the central theme? Is to pursue that which is good and turn away from what's evil. To work to become better every day. That. Like, he gives you, right out the gate, he gives you a list of here are things you should be doing, and then here are things you shouldn't be doing. Because, and he goes to a psalm that gives you a list of things you should be doing, and things you shouldn't be doing. And he says why. God's eyes are towards the righteous, and his ears attend to their prayers. And God is against those who do evil. So when you're going out of your way to do evil, to sin, to do things that you know are wrong, God's not going to listen to you if you ask for stuff. But if you're doing the best you can, and you're trying to get better every day, and even when it's hard, you do what you know is right, God's going to be more likely to listen when you ask for things. when you are trying to get your act together. And then, when it comes down to who is there to harm you, if you prove zealous for what is good, if you work for the things that are good and you forsake things that are evil, who's gonna cross you that for doing that? When they do, it's a blessing to suffer for his sake. So, what does zeal mean? Who is there to harm you if you prove zealous for what is good? Zeal is a word that gets thrown around occasionally, very occasionally, and everybody go, oh yeah, and they act like they know what it means, and it's used so rarely. I always picture zeal as it's like a really fervent drive. You have a really like deep, powerful desire. Passion is probably the modern vernacular that we would use instead. And when someone's talking about a concept like zeal and zealous, when you're full of passion and you're pursuing things that you're passionate about, you should be passionate about righteousness. You should have a deep and abiding desire to do what's right, to forsake what's wrong, to seek peace and pursue it. The desire to be a blessing to the other people around you. So, what's our biggest barrier to being passionate for pursuing righteousness, passionately working to become better every day? I would argue it's being lazy. I gotta say, I think laziness is probably my biggest barrier for. It's just hard. It takes work. You have to decide intentionally that you're going to go the long way around, to do the extra work, to be honest, to tell the truth, to do what's right is almost always the harder path. That's going to take longer and take more personal investment, more vulnerability. It's all going to be genuinely what's good. If you take any situation, any scenario, and you say, okay, what's the hardest thing, the hardest way to solve this problem, that's going to be the right way. And if you say, what's the easiest way to solve this problem, that's going to be the wrong way. You take almost any problem and look at it. That's the way it breaks down. Like, oh, I can just hide it and we'll pretend it never happened. That's lying. Versus, well, I need to admit that I did something wrong and I need to work to fix it. That's the right way to handle that said problem. And it's the harder one. It's going to take longer. It's going to take more work, but it sets you up better in the long run. And that's the hard part. That's the daily grind, right? That it's every day trying to make one more decision like that. Just to make one more other decision that you had to make that day to make it the right way, even if it's the only one you made that way that day. I'm just trying to make it a habit of making that choice in every situation. Should be the goal. But it's hard, and I don't wanna. That's how you know you have to, right? Well, tell me what you think. Give me some of your answers. Ask me your questions. As usual, send your comments, concerns, cries of heresy down in the comments below, or run over, find me on Facebook, unless you're already on Facebook, in which case, welcome, awesome. Check out the other ones down. I've got other videos. You gotta scroll that way and downward. So, it is at facebook.com/follow the number 2 lead. Facebook.com/follow 2 lead. 2 is the number 2. And thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Godspeed.